Hey everyone, Pam here. XCOM2 was released on Friday, February 5th, and I've been hitting it pretty hard since it came out. Don't ask me how many hours I've put into it already. Okay, it's 28 hours. I just thought I'd share a few quick tips for if you're just getting into XCOM2 or the XCOM series as a whole. Let's take a look at the tactical combat first. First of all, don't move too far and always use cover. You generally only want to use one of your two actions on movement, while the other is used for overwatch or an attack. If you use up both actions moving forward, you could find yourself in a bad spot if you're seen by a group of aliens. Now, the one place you might need to make an exception to this tip is if it's a mission with a limited amount of turns in order to do your objectives. In these cases, you might need to take a few more risks and move a little bit further faster so that you don't run out of turns. When you finish your movement, you always want to be in cover. Full cover preferably, though half cover will do on the easier difficulty levels. By staying safe, it's easier to set up an ambush. Ambushes are covered pretty well in the game tutorial and can make taking out the first group of aliens you encounter a breeze. Just set up all but one of your squad on Overwatch and have the last one shoot at the enemy. Grenades are your friends. When you have a low chance to hit, especially with rookies, the toss of a grenade can be the difference between killing an alien or giving it a chance to attack you. Grenades can destroy enemy cover, making them easier to hit. They can also be used to great effect on enemies that are sitting on destructible surfaces. A turret may take 2 or 3 hits from a gun to take out, but destroy the platform it sits on and you can take it out immediately. Some enemies drop loot, which is very useful for making your soldiers more powerful. When you can do it safely, always grab the loot, which can be things like upgrades for your weapons or personal combat stims, which provide permanent upgrades to a soldier's performance. Just don't do it in the way that I just did in this video, because it'll probably result in your death. And my last tip is to watch out for ground effects. Some aliens will do area of effect attacks that take a turn or two before they detonate. For example, the Codex will cast a psionic rift, which looks like a big purple swirling sphere. It will disable the weapons of any soldiers caught in it, and a turn later it will detonate, doing a pretty good amount of damage. A later enemy called the Archon will also do a similar effect. If any of your soldiers are within the area of this, you want to get them out as soon as possible. Don't leave them there to finish off their final shot. Now let's look at some starting tips for our base and the geosphere. First, engineers are your friends. Engineers are very useful, even more so than scientists. Unlike the last XCOM, in this game they need to be assigned to work. Assigning an engineer to a power relay can increase the amount of power it outputs. Assigning one to clear out debris will increase the speed at which you can clear out a spot to build something new. Make sure your engineers are always assigned and pick up as many as you can to start.
The millions of people in those cities don't seem to mind.
If you played the last XCOM, you should know that satellites were one of the major keys to victory. In XCOM 2, there are no satellites, but there are resistance comms, which will let you contact more areas of the globe. Having contact with different areas is what will bring in a steady income of supplies, and having contact with each area in a continent will give you bonuses. Building relay towers will increase the supplies you get and make it easier to contact new areas. Once you've built a power relay, make comms your next priority. The Guerrilla Tactics School will let you make squad upgrades and improve combat abilities. I'd build one of these right after the comms relay. There are a few key skills to get early. Wet work will give all your soldiers bonus XP. The earlier you get this, the more benefit you get from it. You can also increase your squad size. Tackling missions with 6 soldiers is much easier than 4. The big bad in this game is the Avatar project. Once this is triggered, there will be a progress meter for it displayed on the geosphere. If that meter fills, well, I assume it's game over, and I haven't gotten there yet. Avatar-specific missions, which are marked in red, can reduce this progress meter and prevent the aliens from gaining advantages over you. However, there are also other missions to do, which will reward you with recruits, materials, and supplies that you'll need in order to keep the resistance strong. Balance taking on the avatar missions with doing other missions and continuing to make contact with other areas. And lastly, there are usually multiple missions available to you at once. Look at the rewards before you pick one. If you're low on intel, seek it out. If you need more recruits, look for those as rewards. The more areas you have contact with, the more missions you'll have to choose from. Alright, that's it for today. I hope these 10 tips were helpful. If you have tips that you want to share, leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.